Okay, so now we're going to start on the hero section, which is going to be this image. Now on large screens, it's going to be the text on the left, the image on the right. Okay, when we go past the large breakpoint, it's going to be image on the top and content or text on the bottom. All right, so keep that in mind. And we're going to go right under the nav here, and let's say this is going to be the hero section. And we'll use an HTML5 section tag, give it an ID of hero, and then we're going to have the general hero container. Okay, so this is going to be class of container and flex. It's going to be a flex column on small screens. I'm sorry, flex column reverse. So the reason we're doing reverse is because if we just do flex call, then the text is going to be on top on small screens because the text does come first, okay, because it's on the left, right? So if we want to reverse that, we can use this class. And then we want it in the middle, so MX auto. Let's do padding -6, and then on large screens, we're going to do a flex row. So that's the main hero container. Now we're going to have the content, or I guess the content container, and then we're going to have the image. So for the content container, let's give it a class of flex and flex-call, and it's always going to be a column because we're talking about this here. So these are always going to be in a vertical, vertical fashion. So flex call, let's do space between the items 10, so space y-10, and then let's do margin bottom 44, and on large screens we're going to do a margin top 16, okay, when the content is on the left. Also on large screen we want the width to be 1/2, but I can't do that with Emmet or it'll screw it up, so I'll add that in a second. On extra large screens, we're actually going to do margin bottom 52, just because of the way the image lays out. It's a little too low, so we're going to add some margin bottom. So I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to also add on large screens, we want the width of this to be 1/2, so 50%. All right, and then we're going to have in the content container an H1, and let's give it a size of text 5XL. We're going to do font bold. We want the text to be center on small screens. On large screens, we're going to make the text a little bit bigger. Let's do 6XL. Also on large screens, we're going to do a max width of medium. And also on large screens, we're going to align the text to the left. And the text is going to say more than just shorter links. All right, so there's our text. If we make this bigger, it should go to the left. Good. So the next thing is paragraph. So we're going to go under the H1, and the paragraph is going to have, let's say, text 2XL for the size, and we want it centered on small screens. And the color is going to be a little lighter, so we're going to do gray. Let's do gray 400, and on large screens we'll do a max width of medium, and also on large screens we're going to text align to the left. And then I'm just going to paste that paragraph in. All right, and then underneath that we're going to have the get started button. So under the paragraph, it's going to be in a div with MX auto because we want it in the middle on small screens. On large, we'll do MX-0, so we'll take the margin away. And then the A tag here is going to be styled as a button, so we'll do some padding. Let's do PY5PX 10. And for the size, let's do text, and we'll do 2XL. And font bold. Text color is going to be white. The background is going to be cyan. And then rounded full. And then on large screens, we're going to bring PY down a little bit to 4. And then on hover, let's go ahead and just set the opacity. We'll do opacity 70 on hover. Okay, so for the text inside the link, we'll say get started. Cool. Now the image, let's see, let's go down here to the image, which is going to be wrapped in a div. We're going to give it a margin bottom 24, and let's do mx-auto. And on medium screens, I'm going to set the width to 180. Remember, we added that custom spacing. That's actually 32 rem on medium screens. And then on large screens, we want it to be width 1/2, which I'll have to do that after. But also on large screens, we want to do margin bottom 0. Take that away. Okay, and then let's add in here LG, and then, oops, LG, and then width dash 1/2. Okay, and then the image itself, img and images slash, and the name of the image is the illustration working.svg. Okay, so that's small screens, and once we hit medium, which is right here, it gets a little smaller. It goes to width 180, and then when it gets too large, it goes to width 1/2, and it's split. All right, cool. So that should do it for the hero section. In the next video, we'll start to work on the shorten section, which is this here, the form, and then the links and so on.